Hi, I'm Kylie, Rowe, Vice President of Relocation at Dickson Realty, and today we have Trevor Richardson. He's our multifamily specialist at Dickson Commercial Group. Trevor, thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. And so for people who are wondering, what is that and what do you specifically focus on, what do you say?
Well, I help investors and owners of apartment buildings either buy or sell their apartments. So I really specialize in apartments, and we call it multifamily in the industry. Multifamily apartments, kind of the same thing. So I help buyers and sellers from anything from 10 units to 300 units. That's what we help with.
That's great. And I've seen this great report that you put out quarterly, and I know that you're kind of the guru now on the numbers for average rental rates, vacancy rates, that type of thing. So I'm sure that's the number one question you get. What is the average rental rate in town right now?
Yeah, our apartment market for Reno has just been just staggering. We've had a ton of growth over the last couple of years, and really on a national scale, we're one of the best performing markets in terms of rental growth. Mm-hmm. So how we've got there's a lot of different reasons. Obviously, a lot of job growth in the market. It's really great for owners of properties, and it's difficult for tenants and buyers to kind of keep up with the market.
Yeah. So I mean, when we have to pinpoint a number, are you able to say kind of what is that average rental price right now in our marketplace?
Well, really the best way to look at it is there's a couple of different submarkets in town. Right now, the average in Reno is about $1,200 a month, and that's across the board for all apartments. The downtown Reno market is maybe the different kind of animal down there. It's a lot more expensive in the downtown and midtown markets. Those apartments have been really, really hot, and there's a lot of exciting inventory down there. So the prices are much higher. For instance, like a one-bedroom downtown or midtown, you can get to $1,400-$1,500 for some of that new inventory down there. So about $1,200 if you're taking into Reno-Sparks, kind of all the neighborhoods and subdivisions, and a little bit more aggressive in the downtown market.
All right, and so when we're talking about vacancy rates, I imagine those higher price points probably have a lower vacancy or might be harder to get into those areas.
Yeah, much like single family, which you've covered a lot with a bunch of different interviews, we have an apartment shortage. We don't have enough inventory in the market. So what that's doing is obviously it's driving the rental rates up. But our vacancy factor is around 1% right now, which is it's almost a non-factor for me. It's basically the amount of time that it takes to turn an apartment unit or get the older tenant out and then put the new tenant in. That's all that represents. We really don't have any vacancy in the market. There's more tenants than we have apartments.
So I guess the next question then is what's happening with new construction? How many more new apartments can we expect to come onto the market to alleviate some of the prices and vacancy stuff?
Well, there's a little over 3,000 apartment units under construction right now in Reno-Sparks. So just within the valley, there's probably around another 7,000 that are in different planning stages. So probably about 11,000 units total in planning, but not all of those are under construction right now. So we have a good chunk of inventory coming up in the next couple of years, and we're hoping that'll help some pricing a little bit and stabilize the market. But until that time, we're going to continue to see growth for the rental appreciation side. It's a very aggressive market for that, so which is putting a strain on tenants. I'm one of them. I rent still, so I understand that just as well as anybody else does. So.
Right. So there is a ton of information, and I know, and like I said earlier, you put out this great report for people who are looking to dive a little bit more into those details. How can they get that information from you?
DicksonCG.com is the best way to get access to our marketing report.
Well, that's perfect. Trevor, thank you for coming in. Again, this is our multifamily specialist talking to us about what's going on with rental prices, vacancy, and new construction that's on the horizon. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much.